taking the gas tank off on the log splitter here to I can get inside, and one, I need to look at the fitting on this tank, and then two, I need to make room to get the starter going on in here, plus all my oil and fill and everything's back in here. So get it out of my way, we'll drain the oil, fill it back up, and start trying to figure out what we're doing with the starter. I might even do the carb first, but I like to have a starter on there so I'm not wrapping the rope around here every time I got to start it. Here we go. I already know what engine this is. I don't know if it's a Briggs or if it's a 4-in-1. Couldn't tell you. If I really had to guess, I would assume it's a Briggs & Stratton, just because it's a very popular, common motor for most things to run. I mean, they are very reliable. I'm assuming it's an 8-horse. Could be bigger, could be smaller. As far as oil running, I'm just running a Traveler 30 weight. Nothing fancy. It's gonna make a huge mess in here. You know, the drain plug's on the bottom. So we're gonna see if I can bring you guys in there. Maybe you guys can see that down in there. I need a flashlight. But that top one here is the drain, or the fill, and then that's the drain. So that's what I'm gonna try and do now. You guys probably won't be able to see a lot of that, but at least you can watch me make a mess. I'm gonna try and use a pig mat. Crescent wrench. I don't have square drive sockets yet. I guess what I could do is drop this leg down, at least it makes the oil come my way instead of the way it wants. And put a couple of pails down here. What do I do with the rest of it? Oh, got it. You know, all these projects I do are after work. You know, just spare time I have, or some cases don't have. But I do enjoy doing this stuff. Find it kind of fun to bring older stuff back to life. I hemmed and hawed on this thing for about a day or a couple days before I finally pulled the trigger. It's not coming out very well. So, either very cold or very thick. Seriously? Slowly making it your guys' direction. Fill plugs don't need to be this tight. understand they didn't want it coming out, but no dipstick on it, so I get to guess. But I'm sure you guys can see it coming down the line here. I guess you guys will sit there and stare at oil draining. I'll bring you guys back once I go to fill it. Okay guys, brought you back for the filling part. Took forever to get that oil drained out of there. Stuff was old, thick, everything. Let this thing back down. Raise it back up. There we go. Then just put some Traveler 30 weight in here. Ain't using anything fancy. Alright, she's full. And put the fill plug in and snug it up a bit. And then we'll move on to the starter. And once I get everything pretty well good, we'll power wash it, finish cleaning this thing up, and get ready for another stage. So I'll give you guys a zoom in here a little bit. So down in here, we gotta mount the starter to that flywheel. I'm not exactly sure I'm going to go about that. Probably have to make some brackets or something. Trying to give you guys a decent view here, but you guys might be able to see that. Hopefully. The starter they supplied me with, I don't even know if it's going to work. I think I have another starter here. We somehow got to take this starter and mount it in here. So I'm probably going to take this tin off to do that. So let's just do that now. Yes, I have power tools, but they're all in the... I don't like how that bolt feels. I don't know about all that. I really don't want to snap a bolt. I might just go option 2 here. and get the old Sawzall out here and just kind of cut this out. Let's see. Somewhere right in there wouldn't be too bad. Well, that's the next thing I should do. Bring you guys with me here, and let's make sure that this starter here actually functions. Let me grab the booster box. Or jump box, or any other names everybody calls it nowadays. See if she's got any kick to it. I think it's turning the right direction too. That has to go down or to bring the crank this way. So yeah, that's right. Okay. We got a good donor. Alright, that's the next step. Let's make a bracket. And let me go get a Sawzall. I'll move you guys back up here. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the piece cut out. I had to do it off camera. I just had to do what I had to do to do it. I gotta figure out how to mount this in here. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good. I gotta cut some of this back here though on the starter. I gotta trim some of this off. Let's try and do that now. See what that looks like. That's still too close. I'm gonna have to take this starter. We're gonna have to come back to these holes. I gotta chop all that off. We'll get started on cutting here. Yeah, I can put it in the vise, but there goes my battery. Air coming out of this hose is cold. Holy crap. man. Part of the idea here, I want to make the bracket go from where the fuel tank mounts to those two holes, put a bracket down to the starter. I'm going to get a piece of plate, some holes marked, and bring you guys back for that. Everyone, this is going to be probably, I think it's part 3 now with log splitter. What I'm doing right now is going to add in that tractor plowing video real quick. Just a quick sneak peek of what it looks like now. All mounted up and ready to go. So here we go. Here it is, all bolted on. It functions. He's basically pull up on this handle here. Goes. So I figured I'd show you guys that real quick. Basically put 2 bolts in the front, and then since this doesn't have the bracket up under here, I just bolted to my step. I didn't want to take the bracket off the other tractor because if I get it running, this could go on that one or the snowblower system. So I just wanted to share that real quick with you, and then we'll get started on the log splitter. So I'll bring you guys back for that once I get to that point. Splitter here, my idea of putting that starter on the side of the motor doesn't look like it's going to work out so well, because on the starter down here, show you guys down in here on this gear, my starter spins the motor the opposite direction. So mine needed to spin this way, and when I put the starter on, it wants to take it this way. That won't work. So my option 2 I have, I gotta see if this is steel, I'm pretty sure it is maybe weld a nut here and then hook like a drill or something to it to spin it. Or worst case, it just stays a full start, which isn't the end of the world. But that's that problem. And then problem 2 is I gotta go find fittings to fit this gas tank that make it barbed and bring it down to about a 1/4 inch line. So I gotta go find that stuff, and which isn't, I guess, a big problem, but it's a problem. As far as where we're heading to next, I'm not quite sure at the moment. I think I might just start wire brushing, down in here along the channels. Just finish cleaning it up. Like I said, I can't do anything with the gear oil yet, or the hydraulic fluid. And I gotta get a switch for this wire, which is a kill switch. I gotta go up in the that barn, and see if I got a 1-wire alternator. Pretty positive I do. And so maybe I can mount that to there, down on that pulley like I talked about. But I don't know if I can do that now, based on that it has to be able to still start the motor. So that kind of throws a wrench in the mix. So now I gotta figure out what I want to do here. And I really have nowhere else to hook up a belt. I can't hook it up to the pump down here, down in there, because there's no room to put a pulley. So I have to figure out what I want to do with that. I mean, I have another option, which would be like putting a solar panel or something on this to allow it to charge the battery. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, just figuring out how I want to go about it. The alternator still might be able to be put on, assuming that I can get that nut welded on there or something and make it so you can start it with like a drill with the impact. So I might look into that. As far as where I'm going next with it, besides the cleanup and getting the fuel system going, because now I can't work on it until I put that back in. Not quite sure where else I want to keep trucking on this. Kind of almost at a standstill here. It will go back red. I don't know what red I'm buying, but as far as the kill switch goes, I have to figure out how I want to do that. If I want to run a wire from here up and over to that battery box and make like a panel, or if I just want to run this wire back here and, you know, attach something to this plate, I don't know. But I gotta do something so you're not just, you know, touching it, because it will shock you if you touch it wrong. So that's kind of what I gotta figure out right now. But I think I'm gonna let that go and give you guys a sneak, well, I don't want to say a sneak peek. I probably won't video this, but I'm gonna take this guy here, which is the, you know, a basic wood dolly, and I'm gonna make a big piece of wood on here. It's probably 15 by 30, because since I don't have a lift in the garages or anything like that, I want to try and set it up like I have at work. So I'm working on my vehicle. I already have what I know I need on a regular basis on here, which isn't a bunch. So I gotta put some sides up on it, and, you know, I can wheel it around. So that's my next project. And I got some ceiling fans here. I'll see if he wants to put them up in his house or not. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Some of these side shaft engines spin opposite directions, and apparently I got the one that spins in the wrong direction for what I want to do. So I don't really have any more ideas on how to put the starter on there. I can't put it the other direction because it hits everything else. I can't put it on the other side because this engine's old school, where they have points and condensers on it, and it runs off the little cam guy in that box. So I can't mount it over there. So yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen. I'm just going to leave it a full start and look into that nut welding job, and just get it cleaned up and painted, make sure it runs good. So we'll leave it at that. You know, once I maybe get further along, I don't know if I'll show you the whole wire brushing it, because that's just a very dusty deal. Probably won't. Just get it cleaned off and, you know, paint it. Maybe just show you guys, like, you know, you guys already see what it looks like now, and show you the after of it being painted. And then I'll bring you guys back when we do the potential battery / alternator and things of that nature. But until then, I'm gonna get off here and find some plywood or something. So yeah, I'll post this up hopefully tonight. You guys can, you know, see what I kind of tried to do and failed. But yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you in the next one.